I've gone live again, and I don't see you there, Sue. So I hope you come back. Um, I've got. I was messing with this light, and I think I screwed things up. Well, Sue, I'm going to go on and hope that you come back and find me. Because what happened is I went to show the different settings on the light. I should have just left it alone. And it jiggled the double USB port in a way that caused it to disconnect from the computer. So I hope this is working. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with this live, and hopefully people will find both of them. So this is the September 15th, Thursday at 4 o'clock, Cat's Meow. It got interrupted by a breakdown in this USB port that I'm using so I can have the light on. Oh, I'm so upset I should not have touched it. Well, one of the songs, one of the very first songs that I remembered when I was about 10, my dad bought this old, funky old roll top type of 78 recording, great big round records that went on. And one of the songs that was on it was, one of the records that we had was the Rock Island Line. Now, I thought all these years that it was Tennessee Ernie Ford that I was hearing. But Tennessee Ernie Ford never recorded this song. He recorded Mule Train, and maybe that was among the records as well. But what this is, I think what I was hearing was either Lead Belly or Johnny Cash. And in fact, Johnny Cash is assigned songwriter credit for these lyrics, but these lyrics go back. They were first recorded by the Cummins State Farm inmates in 1937, and it's considered an American folk song. So Lord knows where it originally came from. It's also the songwriting is also assigned to Huddie Leadbelly. So maybe I was listening to Leadbelly. I don't know. It's really interesting. I wish I could go back and find those old 78s, but they're long gone, of course. Anyway, I've always loved this song ever since I was 10 years old. Sue, I wish you'd come back. I hope you're out there somewhere listening. So this is the song. It's called the Rock Island Line. Now, here's the story of the Rock Island Line. The Rock Island Line, she runs down into New Orleans, and there's a big toll gate there. And you know, if you got certain things on board, then you don't go through that toll gate where you don't have to. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get this up in front of my eyes a bit, guys. Okay. Now, here's the story of the Rock Island Line. The Rock Island Line, she runs down into New Orleans, and there's a big toll gate there. And you know, if you got certain things aboard, when you go through the toll gate, where you don't have to pay the man all toll. Well, the train driver, he pulled up to the toll gate. The man only asked him what he had on board, and he said, I got livestock, I got livestock. I got cows, I got pigs, I got sheep, I got mules. I got all livestock, I got all livestock, I got all livestock. Well, he said, you're all right, boy. You don't have to pay no toll. You just go right on through. So he went on through the toll gate, and as he went on through, he started picking up a little bit of speed, picking up a little bit of steam. He got through, and he turned to look back at the man. He said, well, I fooled you. I fooled you. I got pig iron. I got pig iron. I got all pig iron. Down the Rock Island Line is a mighty good line. Well, the Rock Island Line is the road to ride. The Rock Island Line, it's a mighty good road. Well, if you want to ride it, you got to ride it like you find it. Take your tickets at the station for the Rock Island Line. It was cloudy in the west. It looked like rain, but round the corner come a passenger train. Northbound train on the southbound track. You're all right leaving, but you won't be back. Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is a road to ride. A Rock Island line, it's a mighty good road. Well, if you want to ride it, better ride it like you find it. Get your tickets at the station for the Rock Island line. Now, I may be right and I may be wrong, but you're going to miss me when I'm gone. Well, the engineer said, before I died, there's 2 more drinks I'd like to have tried. The doctor asked them, what could they be? He said, a hot cup of coffee and a cold glass of tea. Well, the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is a road to ride. The Rock Island line, it's a mighty good road. Well, if you want to ride it, better ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. And there's other lines like A, B, C, W, X, Y, Z. Cat's in the cupboard and you can't see me. And I think there's something else like, but anyway, those are the lyrics I could find. And I'm going to keep researching this because it's kind of a fascinating thing that, you know, the songwriting is assigned all over the place. And I really think, you know, there's whatever it was that the Cumming State farm inmates sang is probably pretty close to the original, well, it can't be original lyrics because they may be lyrics you see that have been added to and added to and added to. It depends when they started and where they started. And, you know, maybe they started in like Arkansas or Tennessee or someplace like that where it was sung out in the hills. You never know. Well, here's a song I sang when I was doing that Spontaneous Live. And it's called Again and Again, or the Train Song. And I wrote this way back when. And it's just one of the songs that Chris has never chosen to produce. And consequently, I don't have a track I can sing to it. I do have a very old recording of myself with my guitar accompanist doing some things, but they are not, you know, I don't think that I can't separate the track because it's me singing with the guitar. And that's what was recorded. So I would have to sing over them. And things have changed since then, you know. But this is one that, you know, like I said, I wrote long ago. Just like a lover calling after a... Oh, you know what? I'm going to have a sip of tea. Because I was getting pretty croaky at the end of that last song. I'll put this under here. And I found this in the Hudson's Bay Company building in Toronto on Yonge Street. The Yonge Street side of it is now Saks Fifth Avenue. And in the basement of Saks Fifth Avenue, there's a Pousse Terry's, which is like this amazing sort of a grocery store, but also a takeout food place. Here was Propolis Throat Relief. It's beekeepers, so I'm sure it's honey and lemon and stuff. So you just do this, like, and it reminds me of the old, you know, sort of the old vaudeville singers and opera singers, and that you would always see them going. Isn't that fun? And it does. It's got a nice honey lemon taste. So here we go, again and again. Just like a lover sorry. Just like a lover calling after a train, shall I wait for you again and again? Shall I wait for you? Why did you set me free? Why did you go? How could you turn your back on me? And did you wait for me? Shall I wait for you? I've told you time and again that I love you. Why can't you see you're leaving me is causing me pain? And I would do any little thing for you. And don't you know I adore you? And shall I wait for you? Shall I wait for you? Just like a lover calling after a train. Shall I wait for you? Again and again, shall I wait for you? Oh, honey, can't you see? This loving you has really got a hold on me. But shall I wait for you? Shall I wait for you? Why did you leave me? Just like a lover calling after a train, shall I wait for you? Again and again, shall I wait for you? Oh, honey, can't you see? I want you, I need you, and I would never, ever, ever leave you the way you left me. Just like a lover calling after a train, shall I wait for you? Again and again, again and again. Why did you leave me? Just like a lover calling after a train, shall I wait for you? Shall I wait for you? Again and again, again and again and again. Oh man, I think that needs some work, don't you? It's a little bit weird. Well, it reminds me, though, that song of scenes at the end of movies. And the one that springs to mind, maybe because she's my sister, is a wonderful movie that Helen made years ago, Helen Shaver, called Desert Hearts, directed by Donna Deitch, where Donna had cast Helen and a woman named, an actress named Patricia Charbonneau as the lesbian lovers in Jane Rule's book Desert of the Hearts, which became Desert Hearts in the movie. And if you've never seen it, it really is a wonderful film because regardless of it being two women who the love story is about, it is just that. It's just a love story. And the scene at the end with the train leaving with Helen on it is really something. It's really great. And it was interesting that, nowadays it might be frowned on, but at the time it was very interesting that Donna cast two hetero women to be, in fact, the funny thing is that Patricia was pregnant by the time the movie, the filming was ended, and Helen met her husband. Steve was the key grip on that movie. So it's a really interesting gender bending kind of a movie, but it's great. When my dad was alive, we would host Mom might host Christmas dinner. Sometimes we were at the Thompsons, sometimes we were at the Shavers, and but she also hosted a kind of a more casual sort of eat the leftovers. Everybody hang around in the living room, sing songs, and recite poetry and things. And my nephews played amazing guitar. In fact, my one nephew, John McManus, he has a group that does a performance at the Galway Arms in Toronto once a month, I think, pretty much. Of course, not during COVID, but they're back there now, I think. At any rate, one of Dad's favorite songs, of course, was the Canadian Railroad Trilogy by Gordon Lightfoot. And the thing is that, there's not really any reference to Canada before colonization, except in this very slim way, where he says, long before the white man and long before the wheel. He's talking about the forest and the mountains and so forth, but he doesn't really get into the fact that there were indigenous people, except when he says laying down the tracks and tear up the trails. So there is that sort of sad note in these, but it is a wonderful railroad song. There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun, long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green, dark forest was too silent to be real. But time has no beginning and history has no bound. As to this verdant country they came from all around. They sailed upon her waterways and they walked the forest tall, built the mines, mills, and the factories for the good of us all. And when the young man's fancy was turned into the spring, The railroad men grew restless for to hear the hammers ring. Their minds were overflowing with the visions of their day, and many a fortune lost and won, and many a debt to pay. For they looked into the future, and what did they see? They saw an iron road running from the sea to the sea, bringing the goods to a young growing land, all up from the seaboards and into their hands. Look away, said they, across this mighty land, from the eastern shore to the western strand. Bring in the workers and bring up the rails. We got to lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open your hearts, let the lifeblood flow. We got to get on our way, 'cause we're moving too slow. Bring in the workers and bring up the rails. We gotta lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open your heart, let the lifeblood flow. We got to get on our way, 'cause we're moving too slow. Get on our ways, 'cause we're moving too slow. Behind the blue Rockies, the sun is declining. The stars, they come stealing at the close of the day. Across the wide prairies, our loved ones lie sleeping. Beyond the dark ocean is a place far away. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, living on stew and drinking bad whiskey, laying down track in the bright blazing sun, laying down track and building the bridges, bending our backs till the railroad is done. So over the mountains and over the plains, into the muskeg and into the rain, up into St. Lawrence on the way to Gaspé, swinging our hammers and drawing our pay, laying them down and tying them down, away to the bunkhouse and into the town. $1 a day and a place for my head, a drink to the living, a toast to the dead. Oh, the song of the future has been sung, all the battles have been won, on the mountain tops we stand, all the world at our command. We have opened up this soil with our teardrops and our toil. Oh, there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun, long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the dark green forest was too silent to be real, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real. And many are the dead men too silent to be real. So that is my attempt at the Railroad Trilogy by Gordon Lightfoot. And I was thinking that sometime I must go back to starting to have guests on this little show, and I will have my nephew John McManus on, and he can play and sing the Railroad Trilogy as it's meant to be sung, or look up Gordon Lightfoot and have a listen. It's an amazing song. I was going to show you the book that my sister Margaret gave us, and it's a Railroad Trilogy, but it's packed away with the Christmas things, you know, because I bring it out at Christmas for the kids to look at and things. Then it's kind of in a cubby hole down by the furnace and impossible to get at this time of year. So maybe in December. Now I'm going to do one song, and that is a track, and we have in fact gone past the hour, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to do Swing Daddy.
Swing daddy, swing, swing daddy.
This is for my mama and dad. Daddy was a bassman in a swing band. In those dirty 30s, dark depression days, they played dance halls in Hamilton, Muskoka dance pavilions. He played that upright at the old Palais. His bass rode high up on the band car rooftop. And late one night the wind was blowing fierce. It blew his case into the ditch, smashed that fiddle all to bits, and Daddy waved goodbye to his career. The 30s taught Daddy's love. Make good with what you got. You can do what you have to do to see it through. If you swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. So Daddy took the reins up on a bread truck, delivered to the store that Mama ran. She'd been out dancing with her pals, heard him swing those big dance halls. He bought a book of matches and love began. Then Daddy drove the railway locomotives all up and down the New York Central line, while Mama cooked and Mama sewed. They lived up a loving home, half a dozen children strong and fine. The 30s taught Daddy's love. Make good with what you got. You can do what you have to do to see it through. If you swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. And he was a labor leader when he was 62 at a railroad union do. They let him sit in for a set. Daddy hadn't lost it yet. He played that bass the way he used to do. And here's Malcolm Connors sitting in for Daddy. Well, now you've heard the story of our family, and every single word of it is true. Daddy was a bass man, playing in a swing band, and Daddy, we're so glad Mama swung with you. Hey, 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 swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Mama, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. Play that bass, chase those blues. Play that bass and chase those blues away. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. From a P, see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Next time will be the 29th. Bye-bye.